Hi students, in this video we will study SR flip-flop. You know what is an SR latch? Active low SR latch. Active low SR latch is constructed with NAND gate. Then this active low SR latch is converted to active high SR latch by inserting inverters at the input. That means input is complemented and given to the NAND gates. Then it becomes a active high SR latch. So first we can draw the active low SR latch. So active low SR latch has two NAND gate. Okay. Then it is in cross coupled form. That means input output of the first NAND gate feedback to second and output of the second NAND gate feedback to first NAND gate. Okay. Then we have the inputs S and R. Okay. So this is an active low SR latch. Okay. So this is converted to active high SR latch by inserting two inverters at the input. Okay, that means inputs are complemented and given to this SR latch. Clear? Now this SR latch is converted to SR flip-flop by providing an additional control signal. Okay. So that additional control signal determine when the state of the latch can be changed depending upon the input. Okay. So here we give this additional control signal to these two NAND gates. Right. So we can draw the circuit. So we give second input. A clock signal to two NAND gates. So here clock is represented by CLK and here it is S input and R input. Right? Then here it is output Q and Q bar. Okay. So this is the diagram of the SR flip-flop. Okay. So SR latch with a active low SR latch. First it is converted to active high SR latch by inserting inverters at the input. Then it is converted to SR flip-flop by giving an additional input signal called the control signal that controls and or determines when the state of change occurs depending on the input. Okay, so this is the circuit diagram of the SR flip-flop. Clear? When this clock is equal to 0, then one of the input of this NAND gate is 0. That means it outputs 1. Okay. When this is the SR active low SR latch. In the case of active low SR latch, when both the inputs are 1, then output is retained its state. No change for the output. So in the case of clock is equal to 0, it retains the previous state. No change will occur. Okay. So when clock is equal to 1, then the output of this first two NAND gate depends on the input SR. Okay. So depends on the input SR, changes will occur in the latch. Right. So depending on the input, it produces different output like set, reset or no change. Right. So next we can discuss the operation of this SR flip-flop with the help of a truth table. Right. So this is the circuit of the SR flip-flop. Then here we have the characteristic table. This is called the characteristic table. The inputs are SR, QN, Qn plus 1 and state. Okay, so SR input may be 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. Okay, so first we can take S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0 and Qn is equal to 0. Okay, so here we see, so that when clock is equal to 0, this is retains the previous state. No change will occur in the circuit. That means these two are disabled. When only clock is equal to 1, these two NAND gates are enabled and circuit will produce the output. Okay, so here we assume that we have a clock signal. Okay, so clock is equal to 1. Then inputs are 0 0 0. Okay, present state is 0, that means Q bar is equal to 1. So when one of the input is equal to, here clock is equal to 1. So one of the input is equal to 0 means output 1. Here also output 1. Okay, so in the case of a SR latch, when inputs are 1 1 1, then it retains the previous stage. That means here one of the input is equal to 0. This 0 feedback to here, so here it is 0 0 1 means output 1, then 1 1 means output 0. This 1 is feedback to here, 1 1 means output is equal to 0. That means Qn plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, next we take Next we take 0 0 1. Next state is 1. Okay, so Qn bar is equal to 0. So here also inputs are 0 0, so here we get 1 1. Again it retains the stage. That means here 1, here it is 0. So in the case of first NAND gate, one of the input is equal to 0. That means output is 1 1 1. Here it is 0. So we get 1. That means there is no change for the output. Okay, it retains the previous stage. Whatever may be the present state, next state is same as. So when S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, next state is always same as that of the previous state. Clear? No change for the state. Then next we consider S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. So here S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. Then present state is 0. So Q bar is equal to 1. So here one of the input is 0, output is equal to 1. Here 1 1, output is equal to 0. So here one of the input is 0 for this NAND gate. So output is 1. For this NAND gate, this 1 is feedback here, 1 1 is equal to 0. That means we get the Qn plus 1 output as 1. So when input is 1 0, S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, and previous state, present state is 0, then next state is 1. Next we consider next state as 1 1 0 input and present state is 1. So when present state is 1, then Qn bar is 0. So here input is 0 1, same, because the inputs are 1 0. Okay, so here it is, one of the input is equal to 0, so output is equal to 1. So for this NAND gate, 1 1 0. So here also we get 1. That means S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. Whatever may be the present state, next state is always 1. That means it is set state. Okay, next we take 0 1 and present state is 0. Okay, 0, S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. Then here Q is equal to, Qn is equal to 0. So here one of the input is equal to 0, output 1, here 1 1, output is 0. So here one of the input is 0, here it is 0 means Qn bar is 1. Here one of the input 0, output is equal to 1. Then here it is 1 1 0. So next state is 0. Next we take for the input 0 1, present state is 1. Okay, instead of present state is 0, we take present state is equal to 1. So Qn bar is 0. So here it is same because the inputs are same 0 1. So for the first two NAND gates, output is 1 0 itself. So here one of the input is equal to 0 means output is equal to 1. Then 1 1, here it is 0. Okay, so here also output is equal to 0. That means it is reset state. Okay, when S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, it is reset state. Next is both inputs are 1 and present state is 0. So both inputs are 1 and present state is 0. Then Qn bar is 1. So 1 1, both inputs are 1, clock is equal to 1 and S is equal to 1. Both inputs are 1, output 0. Here also both inputs are 1, output is equal to 0. Then one of the input is equal to 0 means output is equal to 1. Here also output is equal to 1. So here it is invalid or indeterminate state. Right? Then 1 1 1. Present state is 1. So here it is 0. So here also one of the input is equal to 0 means output is equal to 1 for both the AND gates. So here also it is invalid. So here it is a invalid or indeterminate state. Okay. So this is the characteristics table of the SR flip-flop. Right? Always the clock is 1. For all the inputs, clock is equal to 1. Then clock is equal to 0, the circuit is disabled. It is not working. Right? So from this characteristic table, next we can draw the truth table or the function table of this SR flip-flops. So the inputs are S and R and output is Qn plus 1. Okay. Inputs are S and R, output is equal to Qn plus 1. So SR is equal to 0 0. SR is equal to 0 0 means it retains the previous stage. So Qn plus 1 is same as that of Qn. So here we can write as Qn. Then S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1 means reset. That means both the outputs are 0 irrespective of the present state. Next state is always 0. Then 1 0. When S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0. Next state is always 1. Does not depends upon the previous state. Whatever may be the previous state, next state is always 1, that is set. Then 1 1, it is invalid. Okay, 1 1, it is invalid. So this is the truth table or the function table of the SR flip-flop. Okay, clear. Next we can draw the symbol of this SR flip-flop. So SR flip-flop has two inputs, S and R, then a clock signal, then two outputs, Q and Q bar. Okay, so we can mark the inputs and outputs. So here S is the input, R also the input, then Q and Q bar are the outputs. So this is then clock signal. So here it is the clock signal. Okay, so put a triangle in this box that represents the clock signal. Okay, so this is the symbol for the SR flip-flop. Next we can derive the characteristic equation for this SR flip-flop. Okay, so the output of the SR flip-flop depends on S input, R input and the present state Qn. Okay, so we can draw a K-map with three variables because this Qn plus 1 depends on these three factors, two inputs and the present state. Okay, so here this is S, R, Q, N. It may be 0 0, 0 1, 1 1 or 1 0. S may be 0 or 1. So we can mark 1s in the squares. Qn plus 1 is equal to 1 4 0 0 1, 1 0 0, 1 0 1 and don't care for 1 1 0 and 1 1 1. Next we can group the ones. So here we can form a quad, then one pair. Okay, so the equation is Qn plus 1 is equal to, for the quad R and Qn are cancelled, only S. Then for the pair S is cancelled, then R bar Qn. That means we get the characteristic equation. This is the characteristic equation. It is Qn plus 1 is equal to S plus R bar Qn. That means next state is a function of S, R and Qn. So here we add one more equation. SR is equal to 0, because when S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, it is an invalid state. To avoid that condition, we give an additional equation to this Qn plus 1, that is SR is equal to 0. So these two constitute the characteristic equation for the SR flip-flop. Right? Okay. So this is the working of the SR flip-flop. Then its characteristic table. Then the characteristic table we derive the truth table and also the characteristic equation. Okay. Characteristic table actually defines the function of the flip-flop. That means what is the output depending on the different input conditions. That means what is Qn plus 1 depending upon S and R input and the present state Qn. Okay, but in some design process we know the present state and next state, and we wish to find out the flip-flop input conditions. In that case we should know the excitation table. Okay. So the excitation table lists the required input for a given change of state. That means state change is there. So what is the input condition for that? The state change. Clear? So that is described in the excitation table. So next we derive the excitation table for this SR flip-flop. Okay. So next we can derive the excitation table. So we derive the excitation table from the characteristic table. Okay. So excitation table has two inputs and two outputs. The inputs are Qn and Qn plus 1 and the outputs are S and R. That means we know the present state and the next state, and we should give the inputs. Right? So here the inputs are Qn and Qn plus 1 and outputs are S and R. Okay. So here take the value from the characteristic. We can derive the value from the characteristic table. See the characteristic table. See the columns Qn and Qn plus 1. Qn and Qn plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, Qn and Qn plus 1 is equal to 0, 0. Here two rows Qn and Qn plus 1 is equal to 0, 0. In that condition, what is SR? So in both case S is equal to 0, but R is, for the one case it is 0, another case it is 1. So that means R may be any value, but S is always 0. So here we can write it as when Qn is equal to 0 and Qn plus 1 is equal to 0, S is equal to 0 and R is don't care. Okay. Next, Qn is equal to 0 and Qn plus 1 is 1. One more value. So here Qn is equal to 0 and here it is don't care. So we didn't take that one. So only one value. So in that case it is 1, 0. So we can write it as here Qn is equal to 0 and Qn plus 1 is equal to 0, 1. Then S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. Next is Qn is equal to 1 and Qn plus 1 is 0, 1, 0. So only one entry for this 1, 0, no other values. So the inputs are 1, 0. S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. That means for 1, 0, S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. Then next is 1, 1. Okay, 1, 1. So here 1, 1, 1 and here also 1, 1. Two entries are there. See the S and R columns. S is equal to 0 and here it is S is equal to 1, but R is same for both entries. R is equal to 0. That means R is equal to 0 for Qn is equal to 1 and Qn plus 1 is equal to 1, but S may be don't care whether it is 0 or 1. So S is don't care. That means for 1 1 R is equal to 0 and S is don't care, right? So this is the excitation table for the SR flip-flop. So we can derive that excitation table from the characteristic table. Okay, so you should by heart this excitation table. Not necessary to by heart, you can derive it from the characteristic table. So this excitation table is used for deriving the used for designing counters. Okay, while designing counter we use this excitation table. Okay, clear? Next we can draw the waveform of this SR flip-flop. So first we draw the clock signal. Okay, so clock signal has 1 and 0. This is the first clock pulse, then second clock pulse, then third clock pulse, then fourth clock pulse, then next one. So here clock pulse is a train of pulses. Okay, so we can mark it as 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so here you assume that it is a positive edge triggered flip-flop. That means changes occurs at the positive edge of the clock pulse. Okay, triggering of flip-flop that I will discuss in the next video. Okay, here you just understand that it is a positive edge triggered flip-flop. That means changes occurs in the positive edge. This is the positive edge, 0 to 1 edge. Okay, so this is the clock. Next we can draw the inputs S and R. Okay, so initially S is equal to 0, at some point S is equal to 1, then again S is equal to 0 for some duration. Okay, then again it becomes 1, then again it is 0. So this is the S. Then R is, first R is equal to 1 for some time. Okay, then it becomes 0. Okay, then it will become 1, right? Then it is 0. Okay, then it is 1, then 0. Okay, so here it is S R. So next we can draw the waveform of the output. Okay, so here this is the first clock pulse. During this edge the output is obtained based on the input. Okay, so here S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1 means output is 0 for the first clock pulse, right? During the second clock pulse S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. So that means during the second clock pulse it is 1. Then during the third clock pulse at this point S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0. That means it retains the previous stage in the third clock pulse. Then fourth clock pulse S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1 means it goes to 0 for the fourth clock pulse. Then fifth clock pulse again S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. So it goes to 1 for the fifth clock pulse. Sixth clock pulse S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1. That means it goes to 0. Okay, so this is the output waveform Q. Okay, so this is the waveform of the SR flip-flop. Clear? So that's all about the SR flip-flop. That means here we discussed what is the circuit of the SR flip-flop. Okay, here we construct SR flip-flop from the active low SR latch. First it is converted to converted it into active high, then give a clock signal so that it will become a SR flip-flop. Okay, then working of the SR flip-flop, then characteristic table, then what is the truth table and function table, then we derive excitation table from the characteristic table and also derive characteristic equation from the characteristic table. Okay, then we draw the waveform. Okay, clear? Thank you.